Hello, welcome to August 28th, 2023. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation, an exercise that I do every morning, a little bit after waking up. It's now 4:35 a.m. I do this to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. I also use this time to think about the last 24 hours and how I did with the various challenges and opportunities that I met. I also think about the coming day in a likewise vein, looking forward to the things on my calendar, the things that I know I need to do, especially given that it's a Monday and I have work today, and then also readying myself for the unexpected. I take a look at my life story, where I stand in relation to that, and then I ready myself for death. But before doing any of that, I'll read a poem. And like yesterday, although hopefully I won't be as incapacitated as I was yesterday, we're at another big poem from Keats, John Keats. So I'm not going to do two small poems. I'm going to do one big one. No study ahead of time, just jump right in. And yesterday was poem really got to me. That was the Eve of St. Agnes. I really liked it. Let's try now the Eve of St. Mark. Upon a Sabbath day it fell, twice holy was the Sabbath bell, that called the folk to evening prayer. The city streets were clean and fair, from wholesome drench of April rains, and on the western window panes the chilly sunset faintly told of unmatured green valleys cold, of the green, thorny, bloomless hedge, of rivers new with springtide sedge, of primroses by sheltered rills, and daisies on the august hills. Twice holy was the Sabbath bell. The silent streets were crowded well with staid and pious companies, warm from their fireside oratories, and moving with demurest air to evensong and vesper prayer. Each arched porch and entry low was filled with patient folk and slow, with whispers hush and shuffling feet, while played the organ loud and sweet. The bells had ceased, the prayers begun, and Bertha had not yet half done a curious volume, patched and torn, that all day long from earliest morn had taken captive her two eyes among its golden broideries, perplexed her with 1,000 things. The stars of heaven and angels' wings, martyred in a fiery blaze, azure saints mid silver rays, Aaron's breastplate and the 7 candlesticks John saw in heaven, the winged lion of St. Mark, and the covenantal ark, with its many mysteries, cherubim and golden mice. Bertha was a maiden fair, dwelling in the old minster square. From her fireside she could see sidelongs its rich antiquity, far as the bishop's garden wall, where sycamores and elm trees tall, full-leaved and forced outstripped, by no sharp north wind ever nipped. So sheltered by the mighty pile, Bertha arose and read a while, with forehead against the window pane. Again she tried, and then again, until the dusk eve left her dark upon the legend of St. Mark. From the pleated lawn frill, fine and thin, she lifted up her soft warm chin, with aching neck and swimming eyes, and dazed with saintly imageries. All was gloom and silent, all, save now and then the still footfall of one returning townwards late, past the echoing minster gate. The clamorous daws that all the day above treetops and towers play, pair by pair had gone to rest, each in its ancient belfry nest, where asleep they fall betimes to music of the drowsy chimes. All was silent, all the gloom, abroad and in the homely room. Down she sat, poor cheated soul, and struck a lamp from the dismal coal, leaned forward with bright drooping hair, and slant book full against the glare. Her shadow in uneasy guise hovered about a giant size, on ceiling beam and old oak chair, the parrot's cage and panel square, and the warm angled winter screen, on which were many monsters seen, called doves of Siam, lima mice, and legless birds of paradise, macaw and tender of Davat, and silken-furred Angora cat. Untired she read, her shadow still glowered about, as it would fill the room with wildest forms and shades, as though some ghostly queen of spades had come to mock behind her back, and dance and ruffle her garments black. Untired she read the legend page of holy Mark from youth to age, on land, on sea, in pagan chains, rejoicing for his many pains. Sometimes the learned eremite, with golden star and dagger bright, referred to pious poesies, written in smallest crow quill size, beneath the text, and thus the rhyme was parcelled out from time to time. Alas, writeth he of sevenest, min hen beforn they wake in bliss, weighing that his friends think him bound in crimpled shroud far underground, and how a lything child mote be a saint, and its nativity gift that the maud keepeth in solitariness, and kissing devout the holy cross of goddess love and Satan's force, he ringeth things many more, of which things I may not show, both I tell death, and verily Somdel of Saint Clisale and Clitale, what he auctioneereth of Saint marketh life and death. At length her consent eyelids come upon the feverish martyrdom, then lastly to his holy shrine exalt amid the tapers shine at Venice. Now, this was a bit of a tricky one for sure, especially, do you see how there at the end it switched from standard 19th century English to kind of a rich Scottish brogue. I had a tough time saying some of those words, like the gift that the Madre. Apparently that means God her bless. It's in parentheses there. And there were a couple of words here that I didn't know. Now since I didn't study it beforehand, I didn't have a chance to go through with the pen. So here's what I'm going to do. I don't completely understand this poem, so I'm going to give it a second try tomorrow. I'll wake up tomorrow, I'll read the poem through and mark it. That'll take a little extra time, and look up the words, and then we'll study the words, and then we'll go through and read it again. I think I get the general gist of it, the Bertha reading from the story of Saint Mark and all that entails. But it was sort of fun to read, although I can't say I understood that poem yet. Okay, let's do the good life. First, last night and yesterday. I slept fine last night. Got to bed on time, slept good. Good shape. Yesterday was a nice day. It was a Sunday. Did all my morning things. Went to the beach, had an awesome swim. Good body surfing session. Really was able to catch those waves good. My strength has increased, and I can catch the waves easily now and really ride them. Then I drove out, and I had a nice walk with Yumiko with the dogs, and then I drove out and had an afternoon with my nephew Parker. That was nice. And then from there, I came home, walked the dogs with my wife, had dinner, went to bed. Played the guitar, went to bed. Good day. Nothing particularly tricky in terms of ambush or anything like that. I did come across a new objective that I'm going to possibly add to the good life. It's called the objective of balance. This will be objective number 7. I'll probably put it right there at the end. And it's good to have that right after good. What was the last one? Typically is to not multitask. And then balance. Balancing, not multitasking, will help me to balance. The basic idea of balance is to, and it's bearing itself out of this difficulty that I'm having at work right now, with being able to keep a steady character, facial expression, disposition, through thick or thin, to not let the upset and toil that's in trouble that's going on inside me unsettle me, to keep my balance. And I will explore this. It's probably some depth that I can find in this one too. But I think there's many different ways. But I symbolized it yesterday by having AI make me an image of a man walking a tightrope in the clouds. That's how I want to be. And I'll get a chance to practice it today with some of my meetings. So that was yesterday. Today, like I said, I have meetings. It's a work day. I'm tired. Just move forward. I am tired. My life story, I'm at the end of my career. I'm ready for death. Oh, I forgot to do the good life, didn't I? I knew I was getting this too fast. Let me back up a minute before I do the death thing. The good life. 8 objectives. 8 now. I'll have to update everything. To be always ready to die. To make good and effective use of time. To develop and maintain good and sound life principles. To cultivate good emotional reactions. To perform good actions. To recognize my true limits and my true opportunity. To do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly, deliberately, and carefully. And to keep my balance. Hey, I like the way that flows. My 34 principles are war, reason, homunculus, anchorhold, home of good and evil, purpose, atomic principle, principle of nature, the pirate ride, maturity, social principle, family, public speaking, temperance, life will not go well, the horror show, that which must be born, the home of good and evil, no, the feast of offal, the best seat in the house, distraction, no, the feast of best seat in the house, distraction, agency and the great indifference, the restless man, the path of wildness, the great life adventure, the risk of avoiding risk, sin and damnation, complete oblivion, the path of the season of philosophy, script writing, the bullseye aim, the uphill climb, arena and utility. Nothing is enough in the principle of fun. Sloppy. I'm not feeling quite myself. That's why. Okay, now on to the readiness for death. Are my affairs in order? Yes, they are. Are my relationships sound? Yes, they are. Are my is my life's work done? It is. So that's it. I can stop now, and I will. I've got things. I've got to keep my balance. I wish you all the best. Now my life is done, if not finished. I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care. A little sloppy this morning. Take care. Bye-bye.